Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be answering one of the most common questions I get as an auto accident lawyer, and that's who pays for all my medical care that I got after my crash? My name is Brian Glass. I'm an injury lawyer in Virginia. This video is specific only to Virginia. Every state has a slightly different set of rules, and if you are in Delaware, I have no ability to help you. So, if you've been in a crash in Virginia, here's how you get your medical bills paid after an auto accident. There's a little bit of a decision tree, and if you stick around to the end, I'm going to tell you the completely legal and completely ethical way to get your medical bills paid by 3 different insurance carriers. Okay, number 1, the primary payer of all medical care in Virginia after an auto accident is your health insurance company. Now, this is counterintuitive to most people because if you're in a crash that wasn't your fault, most people assume that the other guy's auto accident company is responsible for your medical costs, and they are. But they're only going to pay you at the end of the case, and we'll talk about that in just a couple minutes. While your case is going on, and your case might go on for 6 or 9 or 12 or 24 months or even longer, while your case is going on and those bills are stacking up, they're all going to be paid by your health insurance policy. So the most important thing to do after a crash and after medical care, if you have health insurance, is make sure that every single doctor that you treat with is in network with your health insurance plan and has your health insurance information. Because if those 2 things are true, they have to bill your health insurance under the Virginia code. Now you will be responsible for paying your copays or your co-insurance as the case is going along, and those out-of-pocket costs can stack up, and we're going to talk about how to pay those in just a minute. But the most important financial decision that you can make after a crash with regard to your medical bills is to make sure that every doctor has your health insurance policy. That means when you go to the hospital, we got to make sure the hospital has it, radiologist, doctor's staffing company in the hospital, the ambulance, and there may be a couple of other providers there too. Every single bill you get, you must make sure that your health insurance information is written on that bill and it's sent back to them. Okay, number 2, what happens if I don't have health insurance? Well, if you don't have health insurance, and even if you do, second place that we're going to look is at your auto accident policy. And this is super counterintuitive to people because, again, it wasn't your fault. Why are we looking at my policy? Well, you may have a provision on your policy called medical expense benefits. And sometimes if you're outside of Virginia, it's called personal injury protection. If you're in a crash in Virginia, we're going to use that MedPay or the personal injury protection to reimburse you for copays, reimburse you for co-insurance, or if you don't have health insurance, pay for your medical bills as they're going along. And the way that this works, if you have a Virginia policy, is you look, and again, it's an optional policy, so it might not be on your, it's optional coverage, it might not be on your policy, but if you see medical expense payments, you'll see a dollar amount there. It's usually sold in $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, sometimes $10,000 increments. Sometimes USAA writes these wild $100,000 MedPay policies, but those are rare. So you're going to take that and you're going to multiply that by the number of cars that you have on your policy. So let's say you have a $2,000 MedPay, a medical expense payments coverage, and you have 3 cars on the policy. Well, you have $6,000 of MedPay coverage. And what's more, you have $6,000 of MedPay coverage for every person that's in the car, right? So if you're driving your family home and 4 of you were injured, you have $6,000 for each of the 4 people that are in the car. There's a couple of other nuances. If you're a passenger in somebody else's car, your coverage follows you around. One of the things that a good injury lawyer will do at the beginning of a case is make sure that they know about all of the coverage that exists everywhere. So you're going to get questions about who do you live with, whose car were you in, who owns the car, all of those things are ways that we make sure that we're maximizing the amount of money that's coming out of insurance companies and going to you. So those are the first 2 steps. Number 1, we look at health insurance. Number 2, we look to see do you have any medical expense benefits or personal injury protection. The third place that medical bills are going to get paid from, if you don't have either one of those 2, is the liability portion of the auto insurance. So that's the other guy's car. Now here's the thing with this, is that many doctors, chiropractors, physical therapists, sometimes orthopedists, they will treat you on something called a lien, right? They will accept a payment all the way at the end of the case, but they'll only do that if a lawyer is working on your case because they know that the lawyer's involvement means that you won't get the check from the liability carrier and run off with it somewhere. The lawyer has an ethical responsibility to honor the lien in an auto accident case. And so if you don't have any coverage, either health insurance or MedPay, you probably will need a lawyer to handle your case just because of the billing relationship that the doctor will have, and the doctor will get paid at the end of the case. So I told you at the beginning of the video, I would tell you the one way to get your bill paid by all three of those insurance carriers in Virginia. And here's the thing, most people don't realize this, but you can triple dip on insurance payments in Virginia. What do I mean by that? If you have all three of those coverages, if you have health insurance and you have MedPay on your auto policy and you have a liability policy for the driver that hit you, all three of those places will pay your medical costs. Now, there are some important things to know about this. You may have a health insurance plan that you have to pay back at the end of the case. They might have what's called a lien on the case. You have to pay them back. There may be some particularities about the way that your medical expense payments makes payments, right? And then the liability policy, in order to maximize the number of dollars you're getting out of the other guy's insurance company, you probably do want a lawyer to at least review the case and make sure that you're getting a fair offer on the case. But if you have all three of those things, you can triple dip on the coverage and collect money from 3 different insurance companies. One of the things that we do at my firm is we make sure that we're maximizing all of the money that's coming out of the insurance companies and going to clients. So if you've been in a crash in Virginia, check out some more videos on this page and then give us a call and see if we can add value to your case.